Ladies and gentlemen, embrace yourselves. Get ready for the final Milan derby of the season. Let's get ready to rumble. Hey, did any of you guys see WrestleMania? Ridiculous. Crazy. Don't even get me started on WrestleMania. But anyways, the last Milan derby of the season. Milan won, Inter won. Now, how did it start off? How did it go in the first leg? Tammy Abraham, a little bit of a shimmy, a little bit of X Factor, a little bit of individual brilliance. He puts Milan 1-0 ahead. Calhanoglu responds and equalises by doing what he does best, striking the ball low and hard into the bottom corner, 1-1. And 3 weeks later, we head back to the San Siro. We head back with both of these teams suffering defeat in their last Serie A games. But what's up for grabs? Number 1, a good end to the season, winning another trophy. 2, bragging rights. 3, 8 million euros on prize money. But where it's changed, I feel like both of these teams go into the second leg of the Coppa Italia semi-final with different priorities, with different things on their mind, with different interests. I feel like one team is going into the semi-final and telling themselves, I don't care if I lose. Because I've got other things on my mind. I've got other interests. I've got other bigger trophies I want to prioritize. And then you've got the other team that goes into the game telling themselves, listen, it's been an awful season. It's been a horrible season. Let's just try go out in style. Maybe we can salvage this season by winning 2 domestic cups. But one of these cups grants them European football next season. Now let's speak on Milan. Milan, they've just lost to Atalanta. And let's just say the idea of missing out on the Champions League has been cemented. Even though it's still mathematically possible, but it's been cemented. The idea of them missing out on Europa League football, it's been cemented. When you look at the teams in and around them, they're on form. They're playing good football. The players are up to fight. They're up for the battle. Milan don't stand a chance. Milan, it's looking very likely they will not be playing European football next season, but they do have a get-out-of-jail-free card. You know in Monopoly, when you play the game, you have a get-out-of-jail-free card. And for Milan, it's the Coppa Italia. You win the Coppa Italia, you get Europa League football. You get Europa League football. It's an opportunity next season for you to, 1, generate some money. 2, extra games, extra opportunities for some players. 3, if you win, automatic entrance into the Champions League. Because there's no guarantee Milan will be competing for the Champions League next season. This is Milan's saviour, in my opinion. Because it doesn't look likely they're getting any European football. But now an opportunity presents itself, possibly 180 minutes away from Europa League football. A semi-final and a final against Vincenzo Italiano's Bologna. Because let's just say, when it comes to Empoli, there is no remontada. Okay? It's over. It's 3-0. Bologna are going to the final. What do I make of it? I feel like this is character assessment when it comes to Milan. In my opinion, it's character assessment. 90 minutes against your arch rivals that you've always stepped up against this season. 90 minutes away from a final. 90 minutes away from an opportunity to win a cup. Like, it's just something for the fans, in my opinion. It's been a shocking season, okay? But to turn around and tell everybody, listen, we've had 2 shocking seasons. We haven't hit any of our objectives, but we still walk out of it with 2 domestic cups, finishing 9th, but we still have Europa League football, which is the equivalent of finishing 5th. It doesn't sound great, but it sounds far better than turning around and saying, the season's over, we got spanked by Inter in the semi-final, we finished 9th, and we have no European football. This is character assessment. Step up in the big game, get yourself the win. Now, there's going to be a lot of focus on Sérgio Conceição, because in my opinion, as of late, he's been deploying the 3-4-3 at Milan. Now, we saw the positives against Udinese, but let's just say against Atalanta, we saw a very blunt Milan frontline. In my opinion, we will not be seeing the 3-4-3 against Inter. I would not be surprised if Sérgio Conceição goes back to the 4-2-3-1. Now, why? Why do I say this? When you come up against Inter, now let's just look at Inter right now. Inter, they like to set up in the 3-5-2. Inter will not change. Home, away, suspensions or not, 3-5-2. We might change the personnel. Inter will, without a doubt. Inter, I feel, are going into this game telling themselves, we don't care about the Coppa Italia. Fair enough. If we win it, the possibility of winning the treble stays alive. But I think Inter's priority is Champions League, the Serie A. Especially after losing to Bologna. And now there's a possibility that their game against Roma is on Sunday. And then they have to play on Wednesday against Barcelona. I just look at Inter and tell myself, maybe, just maybe. It's painful. It's disappointing. You get the distance. You get yourself as far in the Coppa Italia. And then you sacrifice it in the semi-final. But sometimes you have to do this just to give your players that rest, that recovery time, to have extra time on the training pitch to prepare for bigger games. And I'll be honest with you guys, the Serie A battle between them and Napoli is far bigger than the Coppa Italia. The Champions League battle against Barcelona is far bigger than the Coppa Italia. And I would not be surprised if you see a heavily rotated Inter team. But the one thing that doesn't change is the 3-5-2. Why do I feel like Sérgio Conceição will move away from the 3-4-3? Inter, the 3-5-2, they've got the wing backs, they've got the 3 centre halves, they've got the 3 midfielders that become 4. Because one of the strikers will always drop deep to create those central overloads. If Sérgio Conceição sets up Milan in the 3-4-3, the midfield battle from the start is 2v3. Because in the 3-4-3, you've got 2 midfielders. In the 3-5-2, you've got 3 midfielders. It automatically becomes 3v2. When Inter, in build-up, Marcus Thuram, Lautaro Martinez, I feel like Arnautovic will start. Drop deep, Inter's midfield goes from 3 to 4. Milan will have 2. I feel like this is a game where Sérgio Conceição will go back to the 4-2-3-1 because he knows I need those 3 midfielders. Okay, so I've got the double pivot and I've got the number 10 that drops deep in build-up. I'd rather go to war with 3 in midfield than 2. Against a team that from the jump starts was 3. And then sometimes Bastoni, he steps up into midfield. It turns the 3-man midfield into 4. Arnautovic drops deep. It turns the 3-man midfield into 4. It gives you a better chance of winning the game. And I feel like, especially when you bear in mind, he's come up against Inter a few times this season. And let's just say he's unbeaten to Inter. His teams have done well. He's even won the Super Coppa against Inter. I don't think he's ready in a game of this magnitude where there's so much on the line to go with a completely new system, completely new formation, knowing that you will lose the midfield battle in a 3-4-3. Don't get me wrong. You might win the offensive battle because you go man to man. You might win the battle off the ball because you actually can go man to man, wing back for wing back, centre half for centre half, attacker for attacker. You can do it, but you will lose in the midfield battle. In my opinion, 4-2-3-1 comes back and it's the return of Yunus Musa. I feel like he's going to want legs. He's going to want energy. I feel like he's going to integrate him into the team. Inter, the 3-5-2. Now, what is my prediction? If it's 3-4-3, actually, to be fair, I can't even give you guys a prediction because I don't know what team Inter are putting out. I wouldn't be surprised if you see Inter go full strength for about 60 minutes because they know if we play at 5th gear, we can get this game done by the 60th minute and take off our stars. But at the same time, it's a derby. Form goes out of the window. It's the occasion. It's the bragging rights. It's the rivalry. And maybe, just maybe, you're coming up against a team that has nothing to lose in Milan, but you've got a lot to lose. An injury to a key player, it can really disrupt Inter's season. So I feel like Inter will definitely heavily rotate. I think Inter will still play their game. Like, regardless of the rotations, who comes in, Inter play a good brand of football. But in my opinion, I think this is a game that Milan will top. Only because I called it character assessment at the beginning. This is your opportunity. And I feel like the Milan players will go into it telling themselves, every time we've come up against Inter this season, we haven't lost. We've either won or we've drawn. Inter, I feel like they will also know in the back of their head, these Inter players are maybe not going to give 100% because they don't want to they don't want to risk getting injured. They don't want to risk getting hurt. They might not play at 100%. Inter have got other things on their mind. And in my opinion, it's completely understandable. Like, some people might look down on it and say, no, you have to win every single game. You've got Roma, high-flying Roma, 3 days later. Then you've got Barcelona, 3 days later. I feel like it's a matter of priorities. And that's why going into this game, one team has nothing to lose. The other one has a lot to lose. And I wouldn't be surprised if Inter go into this game playing 2nd gear, playing 3rd gear, heavily rotated, and Milan just go out playing at 100%, trying to get that victory, trying to salvage that season. But it all comes down to tactics, in my opinion. If Milan set up in the 3-4-3, I think regardless of what team Inter put out, they will be exposed. Because I just feel like the 3-4-3, when you look at the players that Milan deploy in attack, they're not the best at dropping deep and helping the midfielder. Because it would either be Pulisic or Rafa Leao. They can't do it. I just feel like 3-4-3 against a 3-5-2, Inter's notorious 3-5-2, Inter have got the advantage. And Inter, even when they rotate, they've still got talented players that can win and see out a game of football. I think if Milan want to stand any chance, go to the 4-2-3-1, be compact, have the players in those central areas, and just hope and pray that Yunus Musa has the game of his life. Because whatever he's played, he ain't been good. But he offers something off the ball, which we can't brush under the carpet. But the point is, Milan can't let themselves get outnumbered in that central area, because that is when Inter will destroy you. So my prediction on the whole game, I wouldn't be surprised to see Milan win this game 2-1. But I will be sat watching and I will be telling myself, character assessment. Who wants it? Who cares? Who wants to end the season in style? And Inter, what are your priorities? Is it the Scudetto? Is it the Champions League? And if that is the case, then I wouldn't really be surprised at all. So that's what it is. But listen, it's due to be a blockbuster of a game. And I will definitely be here after the game to give you guys my analysis. Now, if you're new, make sure to hit the like, make sure to subscribe, make sure to let me know what you think in the comments, and I will catch you guys on another one.